Hello, everyone. Welcome. This is our month of February, the predictions, and we're going to get to those pretty quickly here. We're also going to get a message from one of my books, The Master's Book of Answers. And as many of you know, this is just a book where we just opened any page, and each page has a different wisdom on it. So we're going to get that, but we're going to get to the predictions that Phillip gave us first. You know, it's interesting for me, and for those of you who are new, welcome, and for those of you who come back every week and every month, thank you so much. I appreciate your being here with me. And sometimes we have people come on while we're doing this live, and sometimes we talk to you later in your comments. And Greg, well, good morning. From Greg's in California, and I'm here in Ohio. And somehow I think where he is in California, the weather is probably a lot nicer. Where I am, we're going to have a snowstorm come in tonight and probably get around 7 feet of snow, not 7 feet, 7 inches of snow, which is a lot for where I live. I know some people probably do get 7 feet up in certain parts of the continent or certain parts of the earth there. I want to explain something. When I work with an individual, well, hello, Jakarta Marie. Finally caught you live. Thank you. Love your channel. I appreciate hearing that. When I do the videos, the weekly videos and also the monthly, and the monthly are the predictions. The weekly videos are those of you who have universal questions. We take a look at those questions and then we ask Phillip to answer them. And when I'm working with an individual, I don't write it down. When I'm working with in front of a camera, it is much less calming for me. It is much easier for me to stand in front of an audience of live people for 200 or 300 people or 20 people. That's easier for me. And also predictions for individuals is much easier for me than doing it for the month for the world. So that said, I always do write down and then just read what Phillip gave to me. And I want to say, when I was writing this, I was getting emotional. I was saying a few words that I won't repeat. But I always want to also say, Phillip always gives us a way to right the wrongs, so to speak, to make it a little bit easier for us. So I'm going to just start right in here, because this is what our month of February is looking like. And here's what Phillip has to say. It must first be said that if every human quieted themselves into a moment together and all felt love with a capital L, it would change all we are about to say. Humans can change what you call the future simply by changing the thought and emotion propelling the thought. Humans are to remember that all is energy, and energy can change form. Now that we have said this, we will tell you what seems to be about to take place as the energy is now gathering. By this we mean where the energy is strongest is what predicts the most likely outcomes. Political unrest in the U.S. continues to cause uproar around the world. Expect news from Africa of a tribal leader emboldened by the recent ousted U.S. president who continues to stir the energy of unrest. It is not a time for citizens of the U.S. to become complacent, for the unrest that stirs the world to uprisings is only in a short lull before another major uprising. There will be opportunities this month to quell these planned uprisings. It remains to be seen whether those opportunities will be taken. Either way, do expect at least some unrest to explode into uprisings with death and destruction as the result. And hopefully, if we are unable to stop those uprisings, the death will be Not great. Not a lot. I don't think so. It didn't feel like major. It felt like a few deaths, and I don't even like that. Weather patterns will continue to disrupt daily activities in much of the world. The continents below the equator will be safer from disruptive weather patterns. The US especially will find disruptive and changeable weather patterns. This is true of the virus sweeping the world. Those in the Northern Hemisphere are most vulnerable. The US and white Europe are to experience a surge. In the US, excuse me, in the US, the population of people with dark skin have been the most vulnerable to the virus. This is about to change. Each individual must find their own peace this month. We suggest spending time in silence, in nature, in laughter, and in spreading love in their individual world. Excuse me, I'm going to take a sip of water because my voice is getting a little gravelly here. Excuse me. You can hear there's been a lot of emotion in me this morning. Okay. The earth is rumbling with anger. It must be countered, or there will be major eruptions this month. We cannot stress this strongly enough. Even if only for 30 seconds you hold the world in kindness, it will make a difference. This is a critical month that will change the world. How it changes is up to each of you. This is a critical month that will change the world. How it changes is up to each of you. The choice is clear. It is up to you. You can save the human race and you can save the planet, but you must act this month. How you ask, simply smile instead of grumbling. Make changes that help others rather than complaining. Let go of the sadness and let the light in. It really is quite simple. Choose love. With every breath, again and again, remind yourself, I choose love. Then smile at a stranger. Bless the one who cut you off in traffic. Take the hand of someone you perceive as different from you. Untie yourself from the emotions of frustration, anger, fear, hate, then look at what lies beneath. When you are no longer tied to the emotion, the solution becomes clear. It is then you are able to take action, and those actions will have rewards instead of consequences. Although challenges will be presented to each of you in February, you have the strength of spirit working through you. Be the vessel for peace. Be the vessel for love to work through you. It is then you will be able to calm the storms of February. Whew, you can see why it was hard for me to even write that. And my hand and shoulder were trying to relax, and I was feeling the emotion, trying to get into the emotion of staying in the emotion of love, and not letting the anger or frustration or fear take over. And that's what we're being asked to do this month. Stay in love and keep coming back to it and returning to it, because it's not easy. And sometimes we do have to just get that frustration out, get it out, untie those strings, as Phillip says, and then move into a smile, simple smile. When we want to grumble, sometimes I say go out and grumble and grumble and grumble until it becomes actually funny, and turn in that grumbling into laughter. Let's see what Phillip has for us. Okay, we just flip through until we get, whoops, I went too far there. I'm going to flip it this way with my thumb. So we just flip through until we get to a page, which I did. And I'm hearing left, but if you heard left, that's cool. We're just in sync with our intuition. If you heard right, that's a message for you. And I hear from so many of you that say, you know, I got the opposite from you, but it was such a message that I needed to hear this week. So here we go. This is the message for all of us. Whew. Is it not that war is a substitute for peace? Fear a substitute for love? darkness a substitute for light. I'm going to read that again, because is that our message this week or this month? That is our message, isn't it? Is it not that war is a substitute for peace, fear a substitute for love, darkness a substitute for light? And what we need to do this month is we need to substitute peace for war, love for fear, and light for darkness. That's what we're doing this month, each and every one of us. Take on that, become that vessel, take on that responsibility. You are the vessel of peace. You have the grace of pure love. Let it channel through you. If you heard right, this is your personal message. That which you want to hear may not be that which you need to hear. That which you want to hear may not be that which you need to hear. All right, my friends, that's our predictions for this evolutionary period that we're in for the month of February. Thank you, Jakarta Marie. Oh my, that was quite a synchronicity on messages. Yes, it always surprises me, and yet it doesn't. That happens every week when we're doing our weekly message, or our weekly messages, soul messages, and answering the questions. So yes, it does. It's synchronicity, and more of that will come into your life as the more love you feel and express. And if you're in that anger and you're caught in that rage, the easiest way to get out of it is simply start smiling. And I find that if I'm caught, especially our political atmosphere here in the US, if I'm caught in that anger and I just, even if I don't look in the mirror and see the smile, but if I just smile and feel that smile on my face, I can feel that anger though being untied. I'm getting out of those ties. So thank you for being here, Greg, Jakarta Marie. I'm so grateful you were able to make it live. Thank you, each of you, for being here. Thank each of you for the love that you're adding to the world. And thanks for the love you send to me. I appreciate it. And thank you for receiving this love from me. Until next week, next month, I'll see you on the internet. If you do want a private reading, the information is below. Thank you.